video, I'm going to show you how to create a very basic application using the Ruby on Rails framework. If you are learning Ruby, there's a very good chance you're going to be using Rails quite a bit. I have a number of courses, just myself on it. There are countless books, tutorials, boot camps, everything like that for the Rails community. It's an incredibly popular framework. I personally love it. For pretty much all the production applications I build, I use Rails for it. So I'm not going to go into how to build complex Rails applications, but I will show you how in just a couple minutes you can create a fully featured blog application with the ability to create posts, edit them, delete them, show them to users, and show you how you can do it with a very minimal amount of work. So I'm going to start that right now, and you'll have access to all the code as well. So I'm going to start out on the terminal. One thing you do have to do is have Rails installed on your system if you're going to do this. There's plenty of tutorials out there on showing you how to do it. It's a gem, so you need to have that gem installed. Once you have that, you'll be able to follow along right here. This isn't really teaching you how to set Rails up. This is more just to show you what's out there for Ruby frameworks. So if I do Rails new basic project and hit return, that is going to create the project for me. It's going to take a few minutes or seconds depending on how fast your system is. And so what it's doing is it's creating a ton of files for us right here. In some of my other Rails courses, I go into detail on what each one of these are and what their purpose is. Just know for the sake of this that it's creating all the things you need to build an application, how to integrate Ruby gems. It integrates your gems for you so that you can have gems specifically for a project and have them all encapsulated there. Has automated tests built in, has an asset pipeline, all the kind of things that you'd need, and also has all your database connections. And that's the first thing I'm going to do is cd into it. So basic project, and I'm going to say rake db create. That's going to create the database for our basic project. And then I'm going to create a database migration. So rake db migrate. It's going to create that schema file. Now I just have to type in Rails S and confirm that everything is working. So it shows you here in the terminal and says what kind of server it's using, and it shows what port we're on. So we can go to localhost 3000. So go localhost 3000, and there you go. Welcome aboard. You're writing on Ruby on Rails. So that's all working. I'm going to stop this, and now I'm going to create what's called a scaffold. So I'm going to say Rails G, short for generate, scaffold, post, and give it the names I want. So I want it to have a title of data type string, and then content data type text. Create that, and it's going to create a ton of files for us right here. It's going to create view templates, it's going to create database connection files, it's going to create schema files, controllers, the full MVC setup. Say rake db migrate because we made a change to the database. And if it feels like I'm going a million miles a minute, it's because I am. This is not a Rails course, it's a Ruby course. I just want to show you what you're able to do with Rails in a very short period of time. So I'll open up Sublime really quick just so you can see everything. And so these are all the files that created for us. And if you go to the schema file, you can see it even created a database table called posts, and gives us a title, an attribute, a content attribute. And we also could even see that it created forms for us. So it created view forms where we have a title and our content right here, along with all the buttons we need to do all this. So let's see if this all works. You can tell right now we haven't even written one line of code, but with the way Rails is set up, we're going to have all the information we need to have created a blog right there. So I'm going to go posts, And there you go. We have listing posts. If I do new post, I can say, hey there, and content, create post, and look at that. It's created all the functionality we need right there and gives us the ability to do another one and more content. And if you look right here, it shows you everything. We have the ability to see the posts. It lines all the ones we created right there automatically. It did all of the form elements. It also lets us see the posts. It lets us edit them and has all that filled out. So if you want to change this and do, hey there too, hit update posts. It even updates the button names right there. And you can see that's changed, and it's also changed right here. And you can delete posts. So say we want to get rid of it. It integrates JavaScript pop-ups, hit OK, notifications, and all of that's working. We did all of it without writing any code. Obviously, it's a very ugly application, and there'd be a bunch of different things we have to do, and that's the kind of stuff we do in a Rails course. But I wanted to show you how powerful Rails is, how much stuff that it has right out of the box that you can use, and some of the really standard conventions it has make it possible to do automatic generators just like this. So good job if you went through all of that. I'll also post a link to the code in the show notes, and I'll see you in the next section.